Objection! Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And man, oh man, the final season of Better Call Saul is right around the corner, and we just got a trailer. We're here to talk about it. No time for casualties, Dragon. Or casualties. Jesus Christ, that's the
Well, a
wrong
lot of
word.
people. We see a lot of dead bodies in this trailer, so it's not far off.
No time for pleasantries is what I was trying to say. It's literally the opposite of that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's starting things off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Nick Ford would just be like, pleasantries, casualties, Dylan, pleasantries. What are you talking about? I mean, our business involves both, Dylan, but pleasantries has to be what you put out to the public. Anyways, Nick Ford, Jesus.
All right.
I can save me. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Folks, we are talking about the trailer for the first half of the final season of Better Call Saul. Season 6 is going to be 13 episodes. I forget if the breakdown is going to be 6, and the next one's going to be 6, 7?
6, 7, yeah.
Yeah, 6. I don't know if it's going to be 6, 7 or 7, 6. However, that's going to go. But the point being, we're getting half. April 18th, from what I hear, they're premiering with 2 episodes. Very excited. I'm just I saw this trailer. It's Better Call Saul has been known for having great trailers and great teasers. Not a miss amongst them, and this might be the best one yet. It's like the Infinity War to the Endgame.
Yeah, you've been foaming at the mouth to talk about this thing.
Yes, I mean this is like the Infinity War to the Endgame that is sure to follow when we come back.
That's a good analogy. Totally.
It's like, oh god, it looks so good. So ominous.
We keep saying this, but I think this basically looks like the Breaking Bad season, Dragon.
Yeah, well, again, honestly, 5 onward has been like, okay, we're literally like.
No, but I'm saying 5 is like we're literally in the Breaking Bad timeline, and then hopefully 6 will be the Gene timeline. We'll see. Hopefully.
That's the thing. I'm convinced second half's going to be like. Basically, we're going to be at the end of.
But you know what they say, Dragon? This isn't going to go the way we think it's going to go.
That is true. I mean, imagine if they premiere with an entire Gene episode.
It honestly wouldn't surprise me at this point. Especially if it's like a 2-episode premiere, so it's like they could literally just have the first hour be Gene stuff.
So for just to set this up too before we start talking here, because anyone's joining us. So Tiki and I, we adore the Albuquerque verse, particularly Better Call Saul. We have a whole show in which we've recapped every episode ever since Better Call Saul started, called Judging Saul, in which we just break it down very in-depth, go over it with a fine-tooth comb because we love it. We can speculate all the details, theorize, and just kind of bask in it. So we do that, and we will continue to do that for the final season, because it'd be really weird if we didn't. And
the final season's, Dragon, if you think about it, that'll probably most likely be outside of one-off Christmas and July stuff. It probably be the last time we cover an episode on like a beat by beat level, because we kind of evolved into like the Plus and Us format.
Pretty much. So Better Call Saul is very much kind of it's a must. Like basically Bates Motel
and Better. Of the era for us too, Dragon. It's kind of weird to think about it like that.
Like Bates Motel and Better Call Saul have always been the beat by beat shows. I mean, as well as Gotham. Gotham's all finished. Gotham's it was kind of like a trifecta. Now it's kind of dwindled.
But Gotham was honestly like that was beat by beat, but it was more like let's go beat by beat and see how ridiculous it is to a certain point.
To a degree. So basically, Better Call Saul is kind of like the last. Is kind of the last of the trio, so it is going to be a big moment for us when we eventually run out of Better Call Saul. It will be a bygone era. There's a lot of finality in the air, as you can kind of tell by the trailer. You can hear the banks echoing in the podcast.
We have Anthony Smith in the comments. He says it's going to be amazing. I sure hope so.
Yes, sir, it is. It absolutely will be.
All right. Nice to have you. Okay, so Dragon, without further ado, obviously this trailer's pretty damn great. I think the song choice is perfect. Let's just jump right into it.
Okay, all right. So for starters, first of all,
an Easter egg.
I know, how wonderful an Easter egg is this?
Do you think Aaron Paul's hiding out in one of those cars?
No,
I know,
but just to call it out though, I like some kind of light symbolism with this Easter egg. Where again, ultimately, when we get to the Gene stuff, that'll be like Gene's El Camino, essentially. So it's kind of we're teeing the El Camino of it all up, like the post Breaking Bad story. So it's
Totally, yeah.
kind of nice. We're teeing that up in kind of our first half here. It's kind of nice. Or also the neon reflections look just very well.
Also, really quick, Dragon, we need to go back to the poster just really quick. We need to just bask in how awesome the poster is. I mean,
yes,
that is hands down probably my favorite poster in all of the Albuquerque verse, honestly.
Well, I mean, again, first of all, like the finality of it all, which again, it's the whole series was built upon the black and white Gene scenes looking at the color that was reflected on his glasses of the VHS tape. So we're very much.
Oh my God. Hold on, Dragon. We found someone. This is our people right here. Anthony, you are literally the exact kind of people we cater to. He says, I found your podcast 2 weeks ago, listened to every Howard relevant episode. As I was actually searching for a podcast as enthusiastic about Hamlin as I was. You guys fit the bill.
Are you serious? Because I can't see this right now. I'm going off
that's
what you're
exactly
seeing.
What he says on the comments. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you are absolutely. We adore Patrick.
Yeah, we adore Howard Hamlin, Anthony. The whole Hamlin to go blue, the Howard Hamlin tea thing. I'm not sure how much of that is. I'm sure you've heard that. The Howard Hamlin tea thing, we've run into. We don't really bring it up much anymore, but for a while there, that was like one of the main running jokes.
We're definitely gonna bring it because he's going to the golf course this season.
Right.
We have proof of it in the trailer, which
we were absolutely Howard fans from episode 1 as well.
Yeah.
Also, Patrick Fabian, I was also like previously a fan of from The Last Exorcism on my end.
Also, again, for the folks that have not seen this, like my associate here, again, Lucifer. Fabian has a big episode of Lucifer. Which did you watch that? Didn't you? You watched that episode?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you saw that episode, and also let's just say there's a very nice payoff to it at the end of the series with Lucifer. Anyway, point being, Lucifer is a great show as well, but we're here to talk about Better Call Saul.
All right.
So, like we were saying, a really nice composition of our shots here is, of course, the cinematography has always been really nice on Better Call Saul. Again, the best of the best, the top men and women.
Literally ever since shot 1 of the pilot of Breaking Bad, yes.
Yeah. But seriously, I mean, we got a little sidetracked with the Hamlin thing, but just referring back to the poster, I mean, what do you think about the great kind of full circleness of like the color with the poster of like a little bit of color?
The poster's great. It's wonderful. Let's just jump into the trailer.
All right, so okay, so
Nacho just looks so desperate in all these shots, man.
Now, if I'm right, just based on a lot of the Nacho shots we see here, I'm thinking part 1's going to be the full Nacho story. That's what I think is going to happen. I think the priority. Honestly, the vibe I'm getting from this, and it could just be a trick of the editing. It's entirely possible, is that cartel stuff, particularly the Nacho story, will be the main focus, and we're basically we're finishing Saul Goodman in full fruition, and we're giving him all the accoutrements in the background. Then it'll be Saul's story again in the back half. That's where I think we're going with this. And right now, this is in the aftermath of kind of the Salamanca complex shooting, in which Nacho is very responsible, and he's basically running for an exit strategy to evac his father and get back home without the cousins or Lalo killing him.
Sure.
Also,
just to shout him out really quick, we have that guy here. He says, I like everyone named Howard.
All right, so of course, we have the cousins
Howard
here.
Moon coming at ya. Anyone
gets
that reference, I love you. Anyways.
Okay, the lovely Racy. But I'm just looking. I want to appreciate this because Jennifer Bryan, I believe it's Jennifer Bryan, who's still like doing the costuming. Better Call Saul, I think that's her name. I know it's Jennifer something. Anyway, so look at the detail in her wardrobe. Look at all those little flowers, man. Look at that. Just want to call that out. Anyways, of course, Kim Wexler hearing like the bell tolling, which is never a good sign. So again, this is kind of like, again, I love the tone of this trailer where it really summarizes it kind of with kind of our through line here of like, you ever feel like you're being followed, in that Jimmy and Kim are completely just unaware that, at least in this trailer, unaware that the noose is tightening and that the cartel is like, all this business is going on around them, circling them, and they think they're safe and they're just going about their own story where, oh God, they could be in. We know Jimmy McGill is terrified of Lalo. We already saw a piece of why he would be terrified of Lalo, but if Lalo's gunning for him because of his role in things, our dear corrupt lawyer is going to be in deep, deep trouble.
Well, more importantly, that guy says she's dying this season, sadly. So
Well, again, it's not a
That's kind of the
certainty.
vibe of the trailer. The vibe of the trailer is just like, oh, I don't know if Kim's gonna make it out. We'll see.
I heard a very interesting theory that is not Kim dying.
What if it's not Kim dying? Then would it be another person dying? What
Yes,
do you
another
think?
person dying. Yes.
What's your theory?
This is not my theory. I heard this. I'm praying it's not true, but I could see if it happens. I mean, I could see a direction they could go. Howard Hamlin getting killed this season.
I mean, honestly, Dragon, I love Hamlin, but I could see it. I could see it. Like, especially if they're trying to have a whole like Hamlin's uh like let's have a con to ruin Hamlin and it goes horribly wrong
Yeah,
somehow.
either that or like imagine this: they're pulling their con on Hamlin, against HHM and everything, and let's just say it seemingly works out. But after it works out, because Hamlin is in such close proximity to Jimmy McGill while the cartel's business is going on, Hamlin gets caught in the crossfire somehow, or something happens, and that's what takes Hamlin out. And Jimmy feels horribly guilty about it, or does he? Because he's Saul Goodman now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So again, we definitely it seems like Lalo being taken out and the link probably being connected to Gus Fring is going to cause some tensions until Lalo is revealed to be alive. So it seems like it seems like we're setting up that sniper scene in Breaking Bad. This is not the first time Gus Fring has been in the crosshairs of a sniper from the Salamanca clan.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Jimmy here with a great line about the wicked flee when no man pursueth. That is a great quote.
There's a lot to draw from with that quote, especially with the the vacuum salesman of it all.
Of course, Mr. Ed Gilbraith. Yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course, the wonderful Robert Forster, R.I.P. By the way, you'll notice here's a little visual detail for the eagle-eyed fans. You'll notice Jimmy is still sunburned, so this is very close to
Oh yeah, I
after.
did notice that. Sure.
So again, with Nacho fleeing and just Jimmy still sunburned, episode 1, maybe 2 at least. Episode 1 is going to be very much direct aftermath of
I'm
where
pretty
we
sure
left
we
off
get a
last
shot
season.
in this trailer that's literally like Jimmy lying in bed the night of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now we have Mike at Nacho's apartment, probably sent by Gus Fring to kind of investigate things, see what's going on, where Nacho Varga is after his role in things, perhaps.
It feels like a throwback to the balloon heist.
Little bit. I mean, a little bit. Honestly, it takes me back more so to Mike's first appearance when he showed up at Jesse Pinkman's
Oh yeah,
apartment,
yeah,
in
could
Clean
be.
Jane with the gloves in. It's kind of Mike the Fixer in Mike the
Uh-huh.
Fixer mode with the gloves and everything. Now, it is possible. Think about this. Mike the Fixer, we saw those girls in peril in Nacho's apartment later, so perhaps it's like the cartel's looking for Nacho. Let's Mike clean up the bodies and find out where Nacho's. Perhaps those girls meet an untimely fate by the hands of the Salamancas.
Sure, maybe.
Of course, we have Nacho literally on the run. Because remember, he doesn't have a car; he has to run.
I honestly would not be surprised if we got a full Nacho-centric episode in one of the first two.
I would be impressed if they did. I could see it happening. It'd be cool. I mean, it's very much earned. Especially, do you think they would cram all the Nacho stuff into one episode, or do you think it would just be Nacho on the run, and then we eventually
I
continue that
think it'd
story?
be maybe like cutting back and forth between Nacho and Lalo. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if episode 1 was like all set up to the Jimmy and to Jimmy and Kim conning Howard, and then episode 2 was all the Lalo, Gus, and Nacho stuff.
It's not a bad idea.
I could be totally off about that, though.
We'll see. So let's see. Of course, the song choice. It's an Andy Williams song. It's
Dragon, Better Call Saul, they just have the best trailer songs, just definitively, like the best.
Do you know why just the song choices and the movie choices of Better Call Saul work? Oh, we had to have brought this up at some point. I must have mentioned this to you once in the writers' room. Basically, their rule of thumb is like the movies that Jimmy and Kim likes, we like, they have our taste in movies, which are really good taste in movies and songs. So again, just Andy Williams, like Day of Wine and Roses. There's such an ominous yet kind of romanticized tone to it because it's like the romance of Saul Goodman being built, but also like the downfall that it's an utterly perfect choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a theory about this scene. I'm thinking, now again, I could be off base here. I mean, by instant connect here, and especially with this window in the corner there, I'm thinking it's tit for tat. I think Lalo, you've sent guys to my hacienda. I'm going to come to your Dedicado y Max hacienda, Gus Fring. I'm gonna kill that lady that Mike Garmintrap befriended last season.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
think. I think it's a little fuzzy, and I can't tell. Like, I can't remember what that lady's hair color was, but I'm thinking that's her.
No, I think that's a good call.
Oh boy. Okay, now this to me, I think the best
this
like
blew
symbolic.
my mind. This blew my mind.
Oh, I know. I was an audible gasp, and again, tears could have come to my eyes. How beautifully this trailer is constructed with moments like this. Like,
Dragon,
oh
you
my
know
God.
what it is? It's like, I feel like this is like, it's almost as significant as like the death of the RV.
Yeah, a little. I mean, we kind of had that.
Arguably more significant in the grand scheme of things.
So ultimately, the symbol I take away with this money shot here, folks, and boy, oh boy, is it a money shot, is that again, this season, I think part one ultimately it's the final nail in Jimmy McGill's coffin. We've been building to. It's like the death. Jimmy McGill is dying in part one, and then it'll be all Saul Goodman in part two.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been kind of building, like, we keep erasing and sanding away Jimmy McGill. Like, Saul Goodman's like a known entity, but there's still some Jimmy McGill around. And obviously, if Kim Wexler goes, then there's absolutely no ties at all to Jimmy McGill. But I'm saying, look, we're sanding it away, and Kim being the only tie to Jimmy McGill. So,
oh God, do you remember that Jaws parody poster I pitched?
Yeah, I remember.
Where Jimmy's like sitting in the he's just lounging in the pool. Jimmy McGill's got a drink in his hands, and then like very ominously, like Saul Goodman in like the colorful suit just has like his mouth open, ready to eat Jimmy up.
I love it.
All right. Anyways.
Okay, we're back in the nail salon. Oh, there's Mrs. Nguyen. I love Mrs. Nguyen. All right. Now, also, this is just me reading in the stuff, folks, so bear with me. This is kind of cool stuff here, right? It's like that. Who's here to see Saul Goodman? Again, the sharks of the cartel are circling. Who's here to see Saul Goodman? It's the existential strife of Gene. He's worried that someone's going to be here to see Saul Goodman. It's all encapsulated in a bit there for our trailer thematically. Very nice. And then, now, Tiki, did you recognize this? Oh, well, he's coming up. There's a familiar face.
I did not recognize him at first. But yeah,
Yeah.
So I there's a big theory going around the fandom of Lalo faking his death, and I'm absolutely buying that, especially with shots like this, and then the big shot we get at the end.
Yeah. That wasn't the familiar face I was talking about, but that's one everyone's mind. So you're not far off. That is the prevailing theory I think makes the most sense. The other theory was that it was the real Jorge de Guzman, which is Lalo's fake identity that he used in court, when he got arrested.
That sounds legit. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's just like it's Lalo being crafty. You have to have like hire a lookalike who doesn't know what he's doing, and it's just gonna be Lalo killing the guy and then throwing him in with these bodies.
I mean, yeah, honestly, it could be that simple.
Just look at this, though. The cousins just walking through the crime scene to basically investigate here, and the idea of the corruption of the.
I know. That's like a very subtle kind of bit of symbolism right there for sure.
Yeah. I just love the cousins. All they have to do to look intimidating is just walk around together. That's all they have to do. They really don't need guns. They have the power of terror at their disposal. Okay, here's another great money shot. Just the Saul Goodman cutout in a pool. Somewhere.
Yes.
I kept thinking fountain.
Pools.
It's like a fountain or a pool or something. Yeah. It's got to be a pool because of this lining here, but I don't know. I think some fountains have like the little tiling on the inside, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just saying because it looks like it's an indoor thing. It looks more like the indoors of an office. I don't know if like he's shopping. I don't know. Point being, Saul Goodman.
Indoor pools, but you're right.
No, yeah, you're right. It's entirely possible. Anyway, I mean, imagine. I wonder if I'm trying to look if he's shoving this in or he's taking it out because I assumed he was taking it out. Taking it out. Okay. Now this is the familiar face I was talking about. Tiki, do you recognize this man?
At first, I didn't. I had to go through like an Easter eggs of the trailer video, but yes, and my God, he is looking dapper compared to when we see him in Breaking Bad.
So, should I tell the kids, or do we want to save the mystery?
No, so tell the kids.
All right, kids. This is Splooge. Now, Splooge was the husband half of the.
I still think he's one of the all-time best Breaking Bad Albuquerque verse deaths.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So that's the easy way to think of this guy, folks, is he was the guy who had his head crushed by the ATM. Who remember Saul Goodman knows that how that death happened because he was a client of mine. Great callback. As Tiki, I just love the fact that again, from day one, they put all the Saul Good. Like logically, you would when you're going to tackle a show like revealing this character's backstory. Every line Saul Goodman ever said in Breaking Bad was pinned on a board and circled. Okay, we're going to use this later, use that later, and pretty much the only thing they haven't been able to do is the stepfather sleeping with the wife thing, which again is probably an exaggeration. At least, dear God, I hope so.
And Bill Burr.
Well, that's again. So Bill Burr,
we need Bill Burr.
that's the biggie that we need to happen. That's the one I desperately want. I'm saying if they're bringing this guy back, how the heck?
No, right? Could you imagine if they brought this guy back and not Bill Burr?
Now, for those who may be curious as to why that is, Bill Burr actually was supposed to be in last season. He was, but he had a death in the family. He was not able to be on. So hopefully, if they don't get him, that'll be like the biggest crime. Basically, this Better Call Saul, in my definition, is absolutely a perfect show. If they don't get Cuba in there, that'll be like the one chink in the armor ever in the show's history. If they don't get Bill Burr in this, we'll see. Season 6 could take some big chances. I don't think they will, given the 5 seasons up to this point they've been flawless. But we'll see.
All right.
Anyway, so you're the guy, right? What guy is that? Salamanca's guy. Also, the caddy.
Of course.
That's we're getting all the accoutrements.
Basically, his Batmobile.
Yes. Lawyer up. Finally. And now here's the thing. Do you think this is? I'm thinking it's Nacho running to. I think it's Nacho running to Jimmy's apartment asking for help.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Honestly, I think it looks immediately after the attack. Like it could be the same night. I don't know.
I can't fully tell if this is like Kim's condo or not. It looks very similar to it with the layout and everything. So
I don't know. I don't want to call that either way. Yeah. I just think he looks like he's running super fast. So I think it's like literally like exactly after the ambush.
Well, no, I agree. It's him running somewhere from the ambush. He's basically running a straight line, just getting back. I'm thinking perhaps like the end of the episode, so it might be like, I need your help, showing up at Jimmy's door. Because again, Jimmy was. When Saul was introduced, he's on his knees begging, and he's like, "It was Ignacio," so he's going to know Nacho's involved in something with that. Mm-hmm. That would probably be the direct line to do that. Of course, we don't have Jimmy's car anymore, so I can't say, "Oh, there's Jimmy's car." It's
right.
place. Okay, here's the shot you were referring to earlier, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's the same night just because it's like Kim's wearing the exact same shirt. Like, and it's literally just Saul being like, "What have I done? I've made a monster."
Yeah, and also, well, she does wear that shirt often, I'd imagine. But I think you're right, though.
It's got to be the same night, Dragon.
Yeah. Of course, Lalo alive!
He's kind of sporting a little bit of an Alan Grant look, of all things.
I mean, we can't just say everyone with the scarf's Alan Grant.
I'm just saying the scarf and like the
it could be crazy.
The button up, the shirt, the denim long sleeve shirt. I'm just saying.
You know who he looks more like, and I think I could be crazy here. They could be going for a crossover. I don't know. He looks awfully similar to Jack Duquesne from the Hawkeye show. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit like the Swordsman.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you had a side by side, anyway, we're just gonna move on from there. Okay, so of course, literally instead of like the bell, when the bell tolls from the Salamanca clan, it's gonna be a little dingy bell like this. Of course, poor Nacho. Oh my God, Michael Mando.
I mean, the shots like this are why I think we might have a full Nacho episode, Dragon, because it looks like the type of thing. Like, I don't know, like Vince could just give it all to us in one episode because it'd be a hell of an episode.
I mean, Nacho's got screen presence, man. Nacho could absolutely carry his own episode. I'd buy it. I mean, we've essentially seen Mike carry. We've seen a whole Mike episode. It's
yeah, we definitely have. Yeah.
All right, let's see. So, okay, there are boys. Look at them. Not just Howard Hamlin, but Cliff Main.
Dragon, I feel like these are the only two men in the world that would be more acute to our little analogy that we've been pulling out.
David Hyde Pierce thing?
Yes.
We're whiter
I
than
feel like they
Daniels.
might be the only two people on this earth whiter than us.
We're whiter than whiter than Howard Hamlin and Cliff Main playing golf
Oh God, yeah.
in
Right.
white golf pants and everything. Anyway, so no, but seriously, you know what's funny? Michael Rosenbaum on his podcast Inside of You, he had, I believe, Cedric Yarbrough, if I'm remembering the guy's name right, just kind of a sitcom kind of journeyman character actor. They had this funny thing when they went to a party that Ed Begley Jr. had,
Uh-huh.
and they have this runner where they say Begley. They say or they love talking about Ed Begley Jr. just to say his name funny. It's kind of charmed me so much, given our Ed Begley Jr. love. Of course, folks, the great Ed Begley Jr. love him. Anyway, so the point being, as Kim is calling out here, looks like Howard Hamlin's getting some revenge on Jimmy McGill here for all the shenanigans he pulled last season, and just the kind of like Jimmy's insulted him, and he's probably I think the big question is Howard being on Jimmy's case part of the plan to take down
Yeah,
Hamlin?
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm feeling the exact same way, Jack, and I'm kind of on that wavelength myself.
Now, regardless, you'll notice Jimmy, he's in the country club. He's in the golf club.
He made it.
He made it. No, seriously, like, we keep talking about this golf club, and so rarely we've seen Rex Lynn, Kevin Walktell at the at like kind of like the dining
God, I
area of
almost
the golf club.
forgot about freaking Kevin Walktell.
We've seen Kevin at the at like kind of like the dining area on the golf course. We've never really seen the inside of the club, so this is really awesome.
Remind me what our running joke with Kevin Walktell was.
Well, I mean, we always kind of just, for example, like oh, bro, Kim Wexel, broken baby.
Oh
bird
yeah,
with a broken,
the little baby bird,
little baby bird with a broken wing.
right.
I don't know, like we kind of do stuff like that. And I think you keep going like I'm Kevin Walktell or something. I don't know, something like that. I know we made a meal out of the yup.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
One thing we love, Kevin Walktell. He's great.
And then, of course, on the page side of things, we have muddying the waters.
That is the biggest callback I think we pull on the radio.
I don't know why that got as big as it did.
Honestly, our biggest running gags, if you had to like off the top of my head, it's muddying the waters. It's roll around in the dirt with me.
Yeah.
And obviously all of our Hamlin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mike's checking the IDs, so he's at Nacho's place, and he's found basically not. Mike knows what Nacho's gaming for here. Is he's trying to leave town with fake IDs. Of course, we see. Yeah, it seems. I think this is Mike's payment, and is being armed with a gun. Perhaps either that or Nacho has procured something. Okay, money shot for the speculation for the Hamlin.
Yes.
Now Howard's a little hard to see right here because of the subtitles, folks. But essentially, he's holding a little baggie. Now, question is someone planting drugs in Howard's locker?
That is exactly what it looks like to me.
Which again, perhaps just Jimmy's at the club. I don't know. It's and Jimmy does have somewhat ties to Salamanca. Like as we've
God, what if he planted blue fucking meth on Howard?
Well, again, it's possible.
I don't know if the timeline probably doesn't line up on that. I know,
yeah.
But
it doesn't yet, but that's the thing. I don't know if there's going to be a jump to like when we're at the when we're at the the country club. I keep saying golf club, but I realized the pun in that. Like, no, it's not the golf club, but it's the great name for a place like that, though. The golf club.
The golf club. Oh God.
No. But regardless, though, if there's a time jump, we could start the overlap with something like this. But Tiki, I'm fairly certain that is not blue meth. I'm fairly certain.
Oh God, what if it's chili pea?
Now that is actually possible.
That would be a good Easter egg, Dragon.
Chili pea is possible, but I'm
that
very
would be
doubtful.
A really good Easter egg.
I'm very doubtful it's blue meth. I would not bet any of King Midas' silver.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Regardless, again, the fact that Howard's finding this in a locker, it's seeming that again Jimmy's running a game on
it to be chili pea really bad now.
I gotta be honest. I'm thinking this is Jimmy's bait. I'm thinking Jimmy goes to the most obvious place that Howard and Cliff would be, and they would if like Jimmy planted drugs on me. I'm gonna bring him down.
Right. Like he makes it obvious that that's what Howard would think. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And perhaps he makes it almost like maybe not a class action sort of thing, but a very much like a prejudicial thing. Like he's going after me. He killed my brother, and look what he does to me now. I love Howard Hamlin like pulling on the investigation front here. It's like I'm gonna get you, Jimmy McGill. Now, again, this is him when he walks into the courtroom. This is him right after the whole ordeal with Kim and at the end of last season. That's what this shot is here. Again, loving the lyrics. Okay, now this I'm pretty sure is Saul buying the giant inflatable Statue of Liberty. See Statue of Liberty here.
Oh, okay, nice. Because at first I thought maybe it was like an in-between office or something.
Yeah, well, here's the office thing is the thing that's driving me out of my mind because I keep on the edge of my seat. Where's the office? Where's the office? Because last season they were looking at this rundown office, but it wasn't the same location as in Breaking Bad. And I'm wondering, tell me, is that the place he's going to end up at, or are we just teeing it up further? I think we're just teeing it up further. I think they're going to. We tease it up here, and I love that we keep building to the office. And the office has been the symbol of their relationship ever since day one. He's wanted to share an office with her. And Tiki, what I think we're going with this is Kim is going to be with him every step of the way now that she's fully on board to the building of Saul Goodman. But once he builds it, after whatever he does to Hamlin goes south, whether it's going to be fatal or not, I don't know. Whatever is going to happen, it's going to go a little too far, and I think the rift is going to be caused there. It's like Saul Goodman is built on the relationship between Kim Wexler and Jimmy McGill, and it will be all for naught because it would have erased Jimmy McGill, just been Saul Goodman, and Kim Wexler will now be gone. It'll be a painful reminder.
Well, yeah, I'm liking that idea for sure.
I threw a lot at you. I didn't lose you there, did I?
No. I mean, the fact of the matter is, even if Kim is in Jimmy's life still while Breaking Bad is happening, which we honestly don't know.
We don't know.
The fact of the matter is, she is certainly not around that office.
So rarely do retroactive changes work, and this is going to be like if Kim Wexler's inclusion is if everything Breaking Bad is going to broaden us on the Saul Goodman side of things is like the best retroactive writing ever in the history of television.
I know, right?
Of course, Marco's ring, drawing some emphasis.
Oh yeah.
We've got the van going on. Okay, so this is absolutely Mike and Nacho's apartment. Okay, Gus visiting Hector. Now, what I love about this scene, the presumption I have about this scene, if you look at Hector's face here, it's that Hector at this
point, they're still relatively on good terms,
which I'm sure is absolutely a front. I mean, it's one of two things, right? If they're on seemingly good terms, it would be that you saved my life, but I know you're not. You could probably heal me, but you're not. It's like, well, at least I'm alive. I think what it actually is that Lalo probably stopped by before Gus showed up, just to show his favorite uncle that he's alive, but looped him in on the plan just so he gets a kick out of when Fring stops by. You'll know that I'm alive, and he thinks I'm dead. He's going to rub it in, but he's like, nah, we're good. That's what I think this scene is.
I can see that.
I really think it's like, he's going to be armed with, like, Gus Fring's going to be like, remember when Gus killed, Salute, after Salute, it's like he rubbed it in, like, hey, this was like your last son or something. Like he dropped the eye of the Greek in his pocket, that whole thing. Gus Fring's all about rubbing it into Hector because he killed his partner.
Of course.
But, okay. Okay, there's a Statue of Liberty.
This is another good money shot here, Dragon. This is like, all right, it's finally happening, man. Finally.
Yeah, and again, I'm thinking like he's just going to Kim, stop the car. He gets
God.
I need this, and it's a runner,
right?
It's a runner because every time all the big moments of inspiration in the creation of Saul Goodman from the suit was inflatable. Was the inflatable? I love these inflatable kitschy things.
Yeah, totally. The symbolism literally towers over him.
Do you think his plan ultimately might be like, if I make myself an American institution, Howard Ham will look un-American if he attacks me in a court of law?
No, I don't. I honestly don't think so because
I'm not saying that's the whole game. I'm saying, do you think it might be an extra?
No, I just think by the time we get to Saul Goodman, it's like he's already kind of like. His brand is kind of based on the, the skeeziness a little bit. So, no, I don't think so.
The pacing and the editing of this trailer is just great. As we have as we kind of get into that echoey, kind of ominous part of the chorus here, we have all these great quick shots of like Mike doing some digging. Someone's jumping out a window. Probably Nacho. Could be Lalo. We know Lalo's great at jumping, by the way. You know what's funny though? Both Lalo and Nacho very athletic because we saw Nacho make that.
They're a good match for each other in that way.
because we saw Nacho do some hardcore parkour on that rooftop to get the drugs at the last second last season. There's a sunburnt Jimmy again, looking a little conflicted after his after the ordeal and potentially.
There's almost like a Two-Face kind of thing going on there a little bit.
Of course, which also was one of the great shots we had in the previous seasons. We had like the reflection as he saw what happened to poor, I believe, I keep wanting to say Fred Hampton, but Fred from the Travel Wire.
Uh-huh.
And of course, now this to me, Tiki, I don't know about you. I was so darn charmed by the tragic romance of this moment here, this line that he has, where he says, nobody knows what we're doing except us, except for us. And I just love the fact that, again, with this...
I mean, I don't know. I to tell you the truth, I kind of view that line as more ominous.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like a tragic
It's like he's trying to reassure her, but it's not working kind of thing.
I don't know. I think she's gonna buy into it, but we'll see. You might be right. I don't know. I just like the dichotomy of, again, just this Saul Goodman story happening, and to think they're like, hey, we're starting a business together. Basically, they're not going to have a baby. This is the closest thing they're ever going to have to a baby. It's going to be a business with a giant inflatable Statue of Liberty.
Uh-huh.
And just, again, all of this like closing around them. They think they're safe, and they're not. And again, with that in the editing here, we see everyone on the run is like, hey, no one, we're fine. Very not fun. Look at all this. Look at all this. You have Gus Fring in the car.
That the heels might be my favorite shot in the whole trailer, especially because of how on beat it is with the music.
Yeah, with like kind of like the little high pitched kind of ringing thing that they're kind
of
subtitles. Yeah, we're not missing any comments right now, are we?
Anthony Smith says it's so validating to have Howard in a sizable role in the show's final act. After years of arguing with people saying he no longer had a place in the story, despite being main cast, the show only being limited by Pete and Vince's imagination.
No, Howard absolutely had a role in the seasons that he appeared in. Again, it was very much like in the transition of Chuck. He was linked to Chuck in a very important role, so he was absolutely necessitated. And then he was basically representative of everything Jimmy feared in kind of facing his problems head on. Season 4, very, very, very important role.
Uh-huh.
And again, seemingly he's going to be very key in the formation of Saul Goodman and Associates. So to do that, you're going to need the fall of Hamlin. So it's all been relative. All right, anyway, so of course, Tyrus, being a little gun brandishy. Look at him; he loves waving that gun
You and I
around.
both have a big dislike for Tyrus, right?
Tyrus is not my favorite, but I think
Tyrus just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. He's just a big jerk with not a lot of personality.
Now, to be fair, I mean, again, I think he's been used effectively. Again, there's not much at the end of the day. There's not much you can do with Tyrus, and even the fact he's just been okay. We're not drawing a lot of folks to Tyrus being all, "I don't like you, Walter White."
Right, exactly, yeah.
Which was his whole deal.
That was his whole character.
Because the thing, the Tyrus' whole thing in Breaking Bad is like, I'm the new Victor, and I don't like Walter White.
Exactly.
But, here it's like, okay, we see...
It's honestly like one of the few Vince Gilligan characters where I'm like, eh.
But, I mean, ultimately, again, Better Call Saul just shows, okay, Tyrus was an effective part of the team. He didn't say much because we don't really have much to say with him, but, it worked.
Uh-huh.
Versus like he's not in our face as much. It's like, okay, Tyrus is there. Okay, that makes sense.
All right.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure what's happening here is just the screw with Hamlin yet again. Jimmy's flooding the toilets at HHM or the courthouse or something. He's just flooding.
Oh God. What if it's like a good old fashioned cherry bomb or something?
How does the cherry bomb thing work exactly?
You just throw it in the toilet and it blows up the toilet. Pretty simple.
I mean, it's like a little a little firecracker thing.
Yeah, it's like a little firecracker. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. No, okay, it's all right. I just thought you like clogged it. That's what I thought.
No, like it'll blow. My dad used to do it when he was a kid.
That's what I'm saying. We said cherry bomb. I was thinking literally like the firecracker, and he's like, "How does that apply to the toilet?" But it's
you literally throw it in a toilet and it blows up the toilet. That's how it applies to the toilet.
Okay, well now we know. You'll notice Hamlin sporting his Hamlindigo, and my favorite, again, throughout the whole series, he's got that knit tie. Look at that knit tie. You can tell by the lighting. Look at the lighting. Look at that pattern. That's a crocheted tie. That's a beautiful tie. And the Hamlindigo hanker, pocket square.
I like the Hamlindigo pocket square. That's a good touch.
Man, I really hope they sell like Hamlindigo blue shirts somewhere. I really do.
Oh man.
Anyway, but seriously, you'll notice again with Howard Hamlin. It's always like he always projects like the confident, successful front with his wardrobe and his hair and everything. Look at him. This is like the end of this is a haggard Howard Hamlin being contemplated right now. The top button is undone. You saw him when he was coming apart last, the last couple seasons. When he was. When he was like kind of disheveled, going through therapy. You saw every time the hair is out of place, Hamlin's in crisis mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst thing could happen to Hamlin, buying off the rack. Intense nacho shots here.
Yeah, again, just all these nacho shots just look like some of the most intense shit in the series so far, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Like, I gotta tell you, man, this is probably gonna be if any season were this season, even just the first half, this has got to be Mando's. I keep just want to say Mando easily. I think that's Mando.
Mando.
This is Mando's Emmy season, man.
Yeah, maybe.
They've got some Beretta action. Oh, there's a beauty shot. Look at him. Look at all confident. Again, those are the girls being threatened by somebody. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a cartel guy. I mean, there's a blue. I see a blue thumb. Could it be Mike? I don't think Mike. Just given what we said, I don't think Mike would kill these girls. I don't think that would happen.
I mean, we don't know the context
of
these
right.
girls.
You're right. We don't. Well, we know they're nachos girls. That's all we know about them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I think it's the same girls that are in his apartment. So someone's gonna.
No, I don't know. Maybe he's there to warn them. I don't know, Dragon.
I mean, all right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm presuming this is the thumb, the very slippery sausage fingers of Huel.
Oh, okay.
That makes fairly certain because I think that's Jimmy's suit, paying the man for his work, probably to do that golf club job. Well, no, he's not wearing the same suit at the country club. Anyway, now this shot, oh man, this is gonna be one of those moments, kind of like when Nacho got shot last season, the whole perforated bowel thing. It's like, oh god, Nacho, don't! He's gonna be submerged in sewage.
It's literally Shawshank
or Schindler's List, depending. Oh yeah, Shawshank's probably the better comparison. But anyway, yes,
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's still a very disheartening kind of like sewage scene.
No, you're right, but like this is literally like Shawshank is like the exact same situation.
Yeah, it's an escape, just not from a prison. But yes, it's the prison. It's the prison of a situation. Oh, actually, I just noticed something here. Look at this. Do you see behind him?
Yeah.
That's where he was looking out of at the top of the trailer.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I wonder if he's okay. Now I'm assuming this is sewage, but just given the fact that there are bullet holes there now, could it be like a water, oh my god,
truck of some kind?
What if it's like a gas, like full of gas or something? Imagine how tense that would be.
Could be.
Like, oh god, like a tanker or something.
Yeah, it looks like a tanker. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. I wonder if there's something flammable in that tanker.
Go back to it really quick.
Yeah, so you're like,
I think you can see the end of it.
Yeah, you can see the end of it, and the fluid looks very viscous. I'm imagine how tense this be. He's like in an oil tanker of some kind, because I mean, it is kind of oil looking, isn't it? Yeah, imagine
I think that's a good call. Yeah.
I mean, one stray shot, and he's burned. It's like the Dunkirk moment. Remember in Dunkirk, they're all like fish in a barrel in one shot. Like have to hold in they're doing target practice on the thing.
Oh yeah, of course. I think that's probably the most intense moment in the whole movie.
I'm saying, what if it's a little what's a little like that? It was like a misfire, but not just like, oh
I
god,
I could see it.
One bad shot, and I'm lit up. I'm dead. Okay, now I love how we use Banks so sparingly.
Mike
so effectively.
This is basically like him almost fourth wall breaking to the audience.
I know.
It has been true of pretty much the entire Albuquerque verse run of Vince Gilligan is a master of I know it's a cliche, but subverting expectations. There's no other way to say it.
Well, Ryan Johnson's made that a cliche, but Vince Gilligan has not made that a cliche. So, but yeah, seriously, I just love that in 2 lines practically. Banks, Emmy, give it to him.
Oh,
Just give it
God.
to him. No, seriously though, I just love that we saved him for the very end to really bring it on home and bring on the finale. He embodied the finale.
He's got a little bit of a presence in the in the rest of the trailer, but you're right. We saved his only line for here. Yeah,
I'm saying his line just evokes the finality of it all, and I'm just so like, oh my god, it give you the warm and fuzzies of just like less the warm and fuzzies, it's more like, oh no, like don't laugh, don't cry because it's over, laugh because it happened or something like that. It's like, oh god, it's like it's so we're nearing the end of the tunnel, man. Whatever happens next, it's not going to go down the way you think. Now, I think he's referring to the Nacho situation with that. I think that's probably the go-to there. Probably some speculation as to, do you think at the end of the day, Mike's going to help Nacho, or if he's going to? Because that's Gus Fring in the car.
Oh, man. I mean, that's hard to call because it's like, because Mike does have a loyalty to Nacho, but at the same time, I feel like he can't go too far out of bounds because obviously he's like, he doesn't just have a working relationship with Fring by Breaking Bad. He's like Fring's main guy by Breaking Bad, you know?
I mean, Nacho could go one of two ways, the way I see it, just with his story, Tiki. It's either A, we're going to disappear him with the official disappear. Like, he'll be the first disappearing that we ever do, you know.
Maybe it'll be like indirectly how Jimmy finds out about that connection to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy gets looped in the situation. Mike's, the vet probably gives him a number for Ed Gilbraith, and that's how Jimmy has it by proxy, like facilitating, because Mike can't have hands on this guy, otherwise Gus is going to know. That's probably how that might go down. But if the darker version of that, though, is that the final, I mean, you could always say this with Werner, so we don't necessarily need this, but if you wanted to really put a fine point on the father-son component, Mike's soul kind of dies if he kills Nacho.
Oh, if Mike, yeah, oh god, I mean that'd be crazy because Werner was like that'd be like, yeah, Werner would be like the opening act if that were the case.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way you top Warner in terms of like Mike kind of losing a huge part of his soul, or if not possibly the entirety of his soul. It's like, oh god, if he kills like the other compelling father-son story that he had a lot of investment in with Nacho Varga, it's like that's going to be huge for him if he kills him.
Yeah.
Of course, again, we got some really beautifully composed shots, and them looking presumably, again, it's kind of hard to tell because of the way it's framed here. That brick wall suggests that we are at the strip mall. It's a little hard to tell because you can't see the full parking lot in this shot. This might be the shopping, well, not the shopping mall, the strip mall. But I love that we're teeing it up though. Oh yeah, this is the big mystery shot again. Like, who the heck this is? We already kind of talked about it.
It's like they linger on it so much, and you're like, what is it?
It's got to be he's killing a double to fake his death, right? Because I mean, it looks just like him. It's either that or his father, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all the theories that I've heard thrown around are that it's some sort of like situation where he has a body double. And Dragon, the only question that I have is like, what does the body double think this situation is going to go down as?
Well, I think he's probably just going to convince him he's trying to shake a tail or something, or like kind of go from point A to point. He probably didn't tell him about the whole massacre that happened. It'd be my guess. That's a guess, mind you. I don't fully know. Again, I'm just saying I'm sure it's going to be clever.
Because I'm saying, like, I think that the obvious thing is that he wants to have a body, but
yeah,
like this guy looks stoked. He's like, all right, let's do this thing, you know.
That's
and
what I'm
obviously
saying.
he's not going to be stoked to be killed. So.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying clearly he's running a game on this guy. He's misleading him.
Oh,
for sure. So yeah, it's a question of how exactly he's going to do. But we know that Lalo Salamanca, he's so devilish, he could do anything. Yeah. It's like basically this is the way to sum up how we're all feeling right now. It's like look at this guy at the end.
right, pretty much.
That is us. We're so darn happy we have no idea what or who's coming at us.
Also, one thing we should mention, we brought this up in movie memoirs as well in the news section, but I am so freaking happy that we're getting just a couple months of hiatus and then we're right back with part 2.
Yes, I believe it's July something. I think it's July 6th or 16th. That's it's coming back. Yeah.
I mean, Drake, that is so good. Oh my god, it's like we lived through the Breaking Bad thing, and that's fine. But like, it's going to be so much easier for me to call this like season 6 and not season 6 and 7 or season 6 part 1. Like, obviously it is a part 1 and part 2, but like when it's all said and done, this is very clearly going to be just season 6. And I don't know. I'm so grateful that the long wait for this season has resulted in the fact that we'll be able to just crack the seasons out, boom, boom, one after the other.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, also it's gonna be interesting, kind of checking back in to Better Call Saul after the pandemic of it all. Just again, like there was so much concern over, oh God, is the pandemic gonna cost us a good season of the last most important season of Better Call Saul? Like, is there gonna be like a direct result? We're not gonna be able to do things. I mean, you remember?
I mean, if anything, I think the result is that we had to wait longer, but we're getting more episodes in a shorter amount of time because they've kind of been stockpiling them. I think that's the result.
Which I'm hoping is the case too. I just remember that back in the uncertain days, there's oh God, are we even going to be able to film this season? Which clearly the industry has recovered, at least in that respect. It's just going to be a lot.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying the fact that it's paying off after all that time is very reassuring. That okay, there was a lot of fear, but we're going to be just fine, folks.
Yeah,
we're going to be all.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, big welcome to Anthony Smith, man. We'll be happy to see you in in our recap podcast and everything else. Honestly, it's such a great surprise that you're as into Hamlin as us. Like, honestly, that Dragon kind of geeked out at that. I heard it in his reaction. So
yeah.
So hope you stick on board with that. Also, big thanks to that guy as well. Any parting thoughts, Dragon?
I mean, are there any comments we should really highlight in closing, or?
I think we're good. Let's see. Anthony Smith says
Mike is lionized.
Mike is lionized too much. If he kills Nacho, it would cement that he's actually fallible to the fandom and not your friendly neighborhood hitman.
It would add an element of, again, just yet another element of complexity to Mike Ehrmantraut. That, again, as much as we love him for being, the cuddly grandfather hitman, there is definitely, like, yeah, it's Mike. Mike's definitely, he's absolutely a hitman. He's done some bad things, a lot of bad things. He's broken bad in his own way.
What role will Rick Schweithart and Bill Oakley play in the season? I see Bill as an ally at the end of the day.
Now, they love Peter DeSeth, who plays Bill Oakley. So he will absolutely be in this. I'll be shocked if he's not in this season. At least anytime he goes to the courtroom, Bill Oakley's going to be there. So I'm sure, like, at the courthouse, he's got to show up. Schweikart, I mean, we might have cut ties with Schweikart, in all honesty. I mean, if anything, Schweikart, I mean, I forget if Schweikart, I don't think Schweikart golfs. I know he skis. I don't know if he golfs. That's the thing. I know Schweikart. I mean, I don't know if he could pop up like the kind of like show like, hey, no ill will, Kim. Like Schweikart would be a good way to check in with Kim after Saul Goodman gets started. If anything, I expect to see Schweikart in the back half. I don't expect to see him in part 1. I expect to see him in part 2.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll be doing weekly recaps. We haven't exactly settled out like if we're gonna do a certain day of week each. Like, I don't want to guarantee anything on that end, but we'll be there. We'll be there. Make no mistake. All right. See y'all later.
Remember, folks, Better Call Saul.